I circle bleachers and overgrown fields like a bee, until I'm drawn to a flower made of colorful paper. The ground around it's ringed by footprints. The group was here recently. I'm rolling slowly through a stop sign when the world seems to shiver. The Aether road suddenly lifts, colliding with my front right fender, and in my peripheral vision, I watch a rotted house bend at the waist. I am a marionette to some immense force, the strings pulling on my entire body at once. What the? In the sky, I see the well pulse. In a flash, the colors grow more vivid, while the outline expands against the blue sky. A forgotten island near the rift cracks like an egg, drifting into the well's depths to vanish. I need to get back to the hole, and now. Nellie needs to hear about this. There's no time to lose.
Calm down, Eleanor. What do I always say?
A panicked researcher finds only the worst outcomes. But I need to do something, Professor. Would you wait and see if a hurricane were about to break all your windows?
Nellie turns to me as I approach, her face a twitching mess of conflicting emotions. Alistair maintains a detached air, his face unreadable.
It's the well. Daisy picked up a spike in etheric activity. It's escalating, Gia. Really, really fast.
Yeah, I know. I just watched it tear apart an island. I came here to tell you.
I have an idea. But with how fast it's growing, the room for error is high. Don't you see, Professor? This is exactly why I have to do something.
Nation's Crusade has a gravity shield. The islands should be fine, right?
The towers won't hold forever. As the gravitational pull of the well increases, they're getting less effective. And once the pull is strong enough, they'll tear the barony apart.
Even once you've accepted a terrible reality as it is, sometimes it's hard to believe. The well's been a static, if terrifying part of the lowers for as long as I can remember. And that's about to change. How long until that happens?
Soon.
I've never seen the two of you argue like this. Maybe you need some air.
We weren't arguing. I was just explaining my point to the professor.
It was merely a disagreement, Gia. We're academics. Our field is based on spirited discussion. As Eleanor hasn't started swinging fists at me, we're still in the realm of civility.
Professor Gardner, this is no time to joke.
I'll take this seriously when you do, my dear.
Something? What exactly is this something you need to do?
The well's growing fast. Annie still won't negotiate. So, maybe it's time to act.
We're doing everything we can. Annie will have to come to the table soon.
Gia, Daisy is already mounted onto the truck. We don't need to worry about Annie. We can go right now and activate her in range. It will just have to be a little closer than I had planned.
Nellie, we talked about this. One wrong move at the well and you'll be torn apart before you get a chance to blink. You've seen what it can do to an island. And you're no island.
I agree. But if Eleanor's heart is set on this, the least we can do is ensure she is adequately supported. I know Daisy, and I can drive better than most in Olympus Park. I'll make sure she comes back safely.
Thank you, Professor. Let's go.
Wait a damn minute. Nellie, you run off half-cocked and you're going to wind up vaporized. I can't let you do this when we're so close with Annie. Nellie's face is a hot iron, glowing red from the coals of her fears and desperation colliding. A deep breath cools the fires before she speaks.
You're right. We're not ready. I'll try to think of another plan.
Now, hold on. Eleanor is right to be concerned. The well is a phenomenon poorly understood. She may not have enough information for a reliable predictive model. Thus, I believe she may be right. If we neglect to act now, it may be too late to act later.
Professor, I admit I don't know all the science involved in what Nellie's doing. But I know danger, and Nellie knows to trust me when lives are on the line. A vein in his temple beats a steady rhythm in the quiet lab, though his face keeps an affable calm.
I am sure that Eleanor can make her own choices. If she says she's ready, then she's ready. Come along, my dear. Let's prepare the truck.
No. Gia is right. We need more time.
His jaw moves through several less than academic epithets before returning to neutral.
Very well.
All right. So we're clear? We stick to the plan. I keep helping the underground to force Annie to the table, and you keep an eye on the well while you work on improving Daisy.
Agreed. I've been panicking in part because, well, I'm behind schedule on a number of features. Maybe this is the push I needed.
Which features are you behind on?
Well, the first several tests came very close to explosive decompression, but I think I have that solved. The biggest problem now that that's solved is shielding to protect us from radiant efflux while the machine is running. It's going to take some time to solve, between design and production.
I'm going to get ready for the next mission. It might be the last before Annie comes around.
Be careful out there, Gia. Hi, Gia!
Think this can help?
I know exactly what to do with this. This is enough for something else I've been working on. I'm so excited for you to see it. Just check the steamer trunk the next time you're here.
Stumbled across this while I was out.
How did you find something like this down here? I think I can now finish this little side project I've been working on. I'll leave something for you in the steamer trunk when it's goodbye for now.
museum's a sealed-up mausoleum. Its headstone, a weathered sign, reads closed permanently due to crimes against human decency. So why is the lock on the side door brand new? I pick the lock, and the gallery door opens its polished floors and uncovered displays to me. Someone's been taking care of the place, and they've left a canvas inviting guest messages. Among the heartfelt appreciations, initials, and doodles, a cartoon Annie sulks in a corner. The spotlighted reader boards filled up with names, but I somehow doubt Charity Grissom's short stories of the soul would have headlined during the place's club days. I snoop the stacks of dry reading material and breathe stale air until I find something shiny hidden away in the back room. A projector stocked with bootleg film reels. I'm halfway back to the car when someone calls me out.
Excuse me? Are you lost, miss?
Yeah, I was looking for something. Must have been somewhere else. The woman's eyes glide from me to my latest search site. I keep my face calm as I unlock the car, but I turn the key fast as she follows my coattails.
Are you looking for the recreational jump group?
Sweat pours off her brow, eyes twitching like a bug expecting a newspaper. Fortunately for the both of us, she'd said exactly what I needed to hear. Might be. Know where I can find them?
Grayson's having it over at the garage. Better hop to it.
Hey, over here!
I spot Benny waving to me from the shade. Between the drawn shutters, the barren front lot, and the sign flipped closed, the garage was a lonely shack, a blemish on the side of the road to somewhere. Walking up tells a different story. The ground rhythmically pounds beneath my feet while the shutters bleed clandestine murmurs.
Holy smokes! You hear that? This is it! The floating dance hall!
Yeah, I hear. Now, let's figure out how we're getting inside without spooking them off. A yawning vent rests above the peeling mailbox. I do my best impression of a cat and clamber up, curling my claws into the edge of the vent to pull myself up for a listen. Faint echoes drift through the steel tunnel. Before I can make out a rumble of exhaust from a distant shuffle, my knuckles begin to ache. I adjust my grip, but my glove slips. Eep! Next thing I know, my head's ringing, I'm flat on my ass, and I'm left staring up at Benny's concerned face. Seconds later, the door slams open.
What in the heck is going on here?
I saw a mouse. The man in the suit helps me up. There's a layer of sweat on his calloused palms, and a second's worth of tremors in his fingers.
Yeah, there are mice everywhere is why I'm here. I'm inspecting the building. You should go. Who knows how many more there are.
Inspection, huh? Place don't look so bad to me. In fact, up close, I'd say it looks to be of a respectable quality.
It's all on the inside. There are termites, rats, all kinds of unpleasant stuff. But don't be alarmed. We're doing a deep clean to get the garage back in order.
Never met a building inspector who doubled as a pest control.
Staffing's been brutal. We can't afford to send someone out to find the problem and another to fix it. Speaking of which, I should really go. We're gonna start fumigation.
It's a semi-competent lie, but it falls apart faster than a cheap lamp, with the bang of a distant door and the patter of fleeing feet.
Oh, that must be Bob. He must have found a cockroach.
Look, cards on the table. You're Grayson, right? The Joe running the floating dance hall?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Nice to meet you too. And you are?
Gia Rendazzo. And this is Benny. Group we're with wants to hire you for a party.
Oh, sure. But how many people you got coming? I got something planned in the tunnels next week. We can get another 5 or so, if they're hip enough to party with Aether.
Looking for something a lot bigger. Need a community-wide shindig. Something to remind folks around here what it was like to let their hair down. The sooner, the better. Grayson looks at me like I'm talking about moving the moon. He brings himself back to the comfort of Earth with a cough.
Wow, dang, that's a lot to drop on a fella.
Can't do it?
No, it's not that I don't know how, but there are reasons we're partying it up in the middle of nowhere. Nation's Crusade has a ban on any frivolous and morally suspect music.
Look, Grayson, I may not be a party organizer, but I've done my share of gigs. Nothing beats the thrill of pulling off a big one.
Oh, I know, it's just, if we're doing this, we can't do it by halves. It's gonna have to be a lot of work to hustle through. Might be tough on, someone so young.
What, you talking about me? I'm the star reporter for the Crier. I work the streets on the daily. Throwing parties is kid stuff.
With every word, every assurance, Grayson's eyes brighten. Seeming distant possibilities move into focus. Suddenly, moving the moon doesn't seem impossible.
Well, shoot. Why not? Let's do it. Let's throw NC the biggest bash in memory. I gotta finish up here, but meet me at the records building in Meadowlark. Head for the lower door during after hours.
Just ahead, the sounds of chaos emanate from a group of Buckethead cars surrounding a protest group. The Bucketheads are busy arresting a token number of participants for their civil disobedience. Right now, the crowd is dispersing slowly, but one wrong move could set the whole place off. I scan the crowd, looking for any sign that things might go sideways. Everything looks normal at first, but I eventually notice one man in particular who catches my eye. His coat has been treated with a fresh coat of dirt, but it's a little too tailored for something worn by your average pilgrim. He's clearly more interested in agitating the crowd than calming things down. His ramrod straight posture and concealed weapon spoiling the line of his coat clinch it. This guy is a Blacktail's mercenary, hired to stir up trouble. Putting Annie on the warpath might just flush us out. I step out of the vehicle and push my way into the crowd, but the Blacktail's agent has eyes in the back of his head. He starts moving the moment I start inching toward him, and soon he's out of sight again. Suddenly, something sails through the air, followed by the sound of breaking glass. I push my way to the front and find one of the Bucketheads on the ground, hands cradling his bleeding scalp. The mob goes silent as his companions draw their truncheons and form a line, surrounding the crowd. I dash back to the car as the advance begins. Things are getting hot. I have to keep my head down if I want to slip through Annie's fingers.
Gia! Over here!
We look for the drab spot of color against a set of concrete steps and a double set of ornate doors. A film of grime says no one's been down here for months. Need help getting it open?
I got it, I think. My key should still work.
The door clicks open to a long, dark box. It's like breathing in a decades-sealed cabinet. Dust and stale air rush my nose, filling it with aged paper and cardboard.
Ow!
Oh, Jesus. Gia, could you get the lights? Wall to your right.
A cloud of dust wafts through what little space is left between several towers of boxes. Grayson skips around the mess.
Welcome to the Swan. What'd you think?
Hot dog! Get a look at the size of this place. You fit a stadium's worth of Metro Maniacs fans in here.
Yeah, but it's going to be a fixer-upper. Think we can get it ready in time?
Hey, you wanted to remind people of how things used to be? The Swan once was the go-to place for a good time, whether you were a first-timer or a champion dancer.
My eyes rove the hall. For every box and stapler I find, I see pieces of its former glory in chandeliers and brass ornaments. It's not often you uncover spots like this in the lowers. What's the story behind this place?
You're looking at the oldest dance academy this side of the lowers. It was opened 3 barons back by a generous old lady with a fondness for romance and a hatred of crass, smoky nightclubs. She left it to the community when she passed, and we took darn good care of it. We used to alternate between teaching, casual, and competitive dance nights.
You seem pretty familiar with the place. Didn't just have a key. You knew where the light switch was in the dark.
Yeah, I forgot to give the key back when the hall closed. After what happened, I didn't think they'd mind if I kept a souvenir. I used to be one of their regulars. Mostly provided the music, but some nights I'd come down here just to sit. Me and others used to spend whole nights chatting it up under these chandeliers.
All right. Where do we get started?
It's been some time since I was down here. How about you take a looky-loo? See if you can find the hall's dance sheets and record player. Oh, and we'll need to see if the bar's still hooked up.
I give the boxes a rifle through and give up at the fourth. Whatever the Swan might have been before, Nation's Crusade buried it with enough staplers and lined paper to supply a skyscraper. Among inventory papers and broken glass, my eyes drawn to several footprints dotting a scrap of something. My shoe taps the pattern out to an invisible partner. Back, right, up, right. These are dance sheets, right? Where do you want them?
Table's good. I'll organize them later.
While I ankle around a jungle of knickknacks, Benny's got Grayson's ear in an interview between juggling light bulbs.
So, Mr. Grayson, the Criers readers want to know. Who are you exactly? How's a suit go from pushing pencils to throwing clandestine shindigs?
You aren't gonna publish my name, are you?
Nah, I'll give you a whatchamacallit, a pseudonym. Gotta protect my sources. We can call you something mysterious, like Mr. X.
Mr. X, huh? Well, okay then. As for the question, I've actually always had a relationship with pushing pencils. Being a musician usually means doing something to pay the bills between gigs.
Hang on. The Cooper Club's Battle of the Bands, right? You were one of the acts.
Oh gosh, yes. I might not have been Silverfoot James or Kid Holiday, but I like to think I put on a good show back there.
Footprints dance across instruction sheets with barely a crease or tear in their path. The bar's a dumping ground, counter struggling under a hill of boxes and a ring of files and spare mugs. I squeeze my hand under the counter and flip the switch. The fridge hums awake. Bar's got power.
Terrific.
Between the shuffling of boxes, the soft chatter of voices, and the scritch of Benny's pencil, the air starts to feel lighter.
You said, I quote, Nation's Crusade has a ban on frivolous and morally suspect music. So how come you're still here? Shouldn't you be playing at some club on the other side of the lowers?
Well, I tried auditioning around after the band. Briefly landed a gig on another island, but Annie's followers started spreading the word there too, so it wasn't long before I was looking for work again. And once the money ran out and the callbacks stopped, I was stuck.
The pencil stops.
That ain't fair.
Yeah, you're right, but I look at it this way. We've all got to eat somehow, and if I keep eating, I'll keep finding chances to keep playing.
An off-color corner pokes out of the boxes, like a hand breaking through the rubble of a collapsed building, pleading for help. It takes several minutes to dig out a stage, a record player, and a trombone and its case. Found the record player.
Thank goodness. Yeah. That, takes care of them.
Grayson's chipper mood fades, swallowed by some dark cloud cast by the stage.
I guess he never came back for it.
The who and the what?
My ex-partner. I mean, old bandmate. We used to go everywhere together. My trumpet and his trombone, too. The Swan, the streets, the rooming house. Anywhere we could play.
Used to?
We had a disagreement, but it's fine. We still talk, once in a while. Gia, can we borrow you?
They've got a corner mostly excavated, except for a stack of steel folding chairs. 3 trips later, we uncover a patch of wood and a fleeing spider. It runs off behind a large pile of clutter. Going to take a lot of elbow grease to make this place presentable. We'd better get enough people to make it worth it.
Trust me, despite all the finger-wagging around impropriety and wild behavior, there are still plenty of people who want to dance. All they need is somewhere to do it.
Oh, I see how it is. It's like they say, nothing draws a crowd like a crowd.
Exactly. You think I started with a garage full of people? It started as friends, then neighbors, then friends of neighbors, then people I'd never met, all who just wanted to hear the music again.
Maybe it's the sparkle in his eyes as he says it, or the unshakable belief behind his words. But I almost believe it. Anyway, how's it look?
It's the same swan I fell in love with. Or she will be once we get these stink boxes out of the way and start gussying her up. Oh gosh, I got so much to do.
Then we're better off splitting the work. Aside from the venue, what's left?
Usually I'd be sending out the invite. I stash location, time, specifics in the different spots. That lets the regulars know who to bring and where to keep the bucketheads away from.
No problem. Just tell me where to deliver and I'll get the word out.
Okay, sure. That leaves stocking supplies. Gia, I hate to ask, but...
That depends. What am I grabbing? Grayson taps his thoughts out on his chin like he's checking against items on a list. One has him frowning, briefly but deeply.
Booze, music, and cosmetics. Whatever you can get. I was already planning a run for next week's party, but we'll need it sooner. Fortunately, you can grab it all in one place.
Last I checked, even bootleggers avoided Nation's Crusade. No one wants to risk getting caught holding moonshine by a buckethead.
It's around, if you know where to look. Officials hoard it for their rallies, usually get a fresh stock whenever they raid speakeasies or get a new island. If you're lucky, you can sneak off with some.
And if I can't?
We won't be completely dry. I have a regular attendee who brings homemade grape juice. It'll keep the taps flowing for a little while, just not the night, or half the night.
You're a musician. You and that record player aren't enough entertainment?
Yeah, I mean, sure. It'll do in a pinch. But the Swan's records haven't been updated in years. People aren't going to show for something they've heard 100 times. I was thinking,
Grayson drops his gaze to his feet, rubbing his hands across his cheeks as though to ease the words out.
I was thinking we're reopening the Swan. People will feel nostalgic. It might be nice to do a reunion gig with me and Freddie. The Swan's best brass players, back for one night only.
Still not seeing where you need my help. He's your bandmate. What's stopping you from asking him?
Freddie won't talk shop with me. Stopped after Annie made clear the music band was here to stay. Won't even talk about tunes or auditions, let alone any floating dance halls.
But he'll talk to me? A total stranger? For a moment, the man looks like he wants to take back his request and bury it away in the pockets of his drab suit. But hope's a powerful thing.
Freddie looks like some no-nonsense, gloomy guy. But he's not. He's the most passionate musician I've ever met. Keep things polite and respectful, and he'll hear you out. Tell him I want to talk. That's all.
Cosmetics?
Yeah. The Swan used to give guests the Cinderella treatment. Helped them feel good about themselves. There are folks who haven't seen a tube of lipstick or a jar of hair oil in years.
Huh. Yeah. Now that you mention it, I've been seeing less painted ladies around.
What's got Nation's Crusade hung up on cosmetics?
Oh, they're, signs of loose morals that encourage dangerous intermingling. Same way bright clothing or scents tempt you into pride and vanity.
Uh-huh. Sounds like I won't find any at the local beauty shop then.
Oh gosh, no, none of those left either. But I hired a smuggler to bring some in. I was gonna meet him for the pickup later. It's by an iron gate. Tell him Grayson sent you, and that the invite's still good.
All right. Sounds doable. Where am I heading?
The Temperance Rally. Annie runs it at least once a month, brings everyone together. You bring what you have to purge, and you destroy it with the help of your neighbors. The most devout always show up. And Freddy.
The musician swallows down a lump. I don't know what makes him more queasy, the event itself or his dear pal giving up the horn for an axe. Charming. The booze and your bandmate I get, but why would you arrange a pickup in the middle of a mob?
It felt like the easiest place to hide an outsider, you know? Like a tree in a forest. Nothing unusual about visitors who want to see what upstanding living looks like.
I'll look into it. You just focus on the venue.
Break a leg. And try to grab as much as you can. The more we get, the better the party.
As I pass by, I hear the soft flutter, gasping for attention. The tape's starting to go on a piece of paper fixed to the side of the trombone case. I bend down to give it a read. The best decisions are often the hardest.
Freddy wrote that. When he got down in the dumps, he'd look at it and remind himself why he played.
And the reason is?
It's not my story to tell.
Not a bottle to be found. Did staff take it with them when the hall closed? Or did Buckethead snatch it in a raid? Brighter than the fires of hell, and hotter than the sun, a chorus of righteous axes rain down on items judged guilty. Rivers of liquor seep into the ground while metal, wood, and paper feed the pyres. I duck behind the crowd of manic avengers while Baron Annie the Axe takes to the field.
We shall cut down their idols, destroy their sacred pillars, burn their altars. As Paul said, give no opportunity to the devil.
She goes to a woman struggling under the weight of crates and bottles. Together, they cast it over the edge to the applause of an adoring crowd.
Drinking, gambling, vanity, pleasures of the flesh. But we do not gratify these earthly desires. Instead, we walk by the Spirit of the Lord.
The answering shouts make the island quake like it's Judgment Day. It only comes to an abrupt lull when Annie steps down from her perch to hold out her hand to a downcast man.
These books were my late wife's. She was a good woman. Never meant any harm, but the content is, I know. But these were hers.
What does Paul say? That the devil and his machinations will come in sheep's clothing. All of us can be deceived, brother. Your wife meant no harm, but she carried on with evil, just as my parents did. You can make that right.
Her words are the push he needs. He sobs and lets his wife's books fall, cremated by the flames to a choir of soothing neighbors. I tightly thumb Zio's hat.
I love a happy ending, don't you?
I jump out of my skin. The twisted melodrama must have thrown me off, because I hadn't seen the crone or her basket of goodies until she was at my shoulder.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Lamb Chop. I didn't mean to frighten you. I would have said hello earlier, but you look completely taken with our Annie.
Yeah, she's a real inspiration. Hard to take your eyes off her.
Well, look at you. You're a fresh daisy in the flower patch, and you're already sucking things in like it's water.
Wait a sec. How do you know I'm new?
Why, it's my job. I'm one of the event organizers, or as I like to call it, the door lady. When I see a new face, I can't help but make them feel welcome. Here, for you.
She catches my hand. Years of social niceties and smuggler instincts prevent me from yanking it away before she palms me a set of dice. Didn't think Nation's Crusade approved of gambling.
No, these are the cast-out lamb chop. I keep them on hand to help warm folks up. Small and easy. Toss them and you're done.
She watches me with as much anticipation as the witch waiting for Gretel to take a bite. When in Nation's Crusade, I tell myself. I roll them between my fingers and throw them over the edge.
Would you look at that? Clean to the burrows. We'll make a destroyer of vice out of you yet. But take hope, for even our Christ was tempted. Stay vigilant, brothers and sisters.
Bodies disperse as Annie charges forward, rallying her followers to other battlements. I slowly exhale and use the shift in the crowd to make my escape. Thanks for the welcome, ma'am. Think I'll go mingle.
Call me Bethany. I'd love to introduce you around, but someone's got to mind the exit. You'll be all right on your own?
I'll figure something out.
That's the spirit. Have a lovely time. But don't slack off, We're here to destroy sin. Cookies are only for those who do their part.
The older woman totters off, but a sickly sensation lingers. Maybe she's nosy. Maybe she's suspicious. But she keeps me in her sightline. Better hope the Casual Observer Act bores her fast. A truck on the side is loaded, but strangely untouched. I find the cause in a letter stuck on the dash. They detail orders to move overstock to storage, stamped with Nation's Crusade's seal. It hits me. I could walk out of here with barrels of booze if I had one of those letters, but Bethany's gaze is like a hovering wooden spoon. I grudgingly decide to circle back later. The crackle of white-hot embers and the smell of pulp, plastic, and fabrics have me breathing shallow. I turn my head upwind and notice the curve of a still pristine record. A spidery itch crawls down my spine. Looks like my nosy greeter's still watching. Under the popping of flames and the dying twang of someone smashing a guitar, I slip the record between my coat and shirt. If the party doesn't love it, Cress will. Look for the iron gate, Grayson had said. I casually lean against it, but 5 minutes pass and the only thing that joins me is falling ash. A small scrap of cloth tucked into a nearby fence waves at me. Yellow for attention, a smuggler's message. I tug it out, along with a note hidden in a matchbox. The message is curt. Too hot. Meet at the bend on the closed road. My heart kicks through my ribs at the handwriting. I knew it from scribbled work orders and personal notes slipped in my pockets. Part of me wants to tell Grayson his pickup was a wash, but I've still got a job to do, even if it means meeting with needles. Amidst the shouting and raucous fervor, I hear the steady chop of an axe. The man behind it wields it with the air of a cloud on a funeral day, preparing tinder for the pyres. Freddy?
Yes? Can I help you, Miss?
Gia Randazzo. I'm a mutual friend of Grayson's.
Are you here on his behalf?
There a problem if I am? The former musician snorts, giving me a knowing half-smile dyed in melancholy.
No offense, but I'll have to decline. Grayson didn't come himself, which means he wants you to ask me something he knows I'll say no to.
Another barrel slate breaks. He throws them into a pile and starts on another.
I'm not looking for trouble, Miss Rondazzo. It's my day off.
Hell of a way to be spending your day off. Don't got any hobbies to catch up on?
Fresh air, social time, exercise. I don't need much else.
You sure about that? Because from where I'm standing, you look like you'd rather be anywhere else. The axe comes down with pitch-perfect precision, but there's not a drop of satisfaction behind those eyes.
Doesn't matter what I want, it's responsibility. I already promised Mrs. Bethany I'd replenish the wood.
You that worried about a conversation?
By smooth talk and flattery, they deceive the minds of naive people. You give them a minute and you find yourself playing the plants in a greenhouse because someone said please.
Grayson's that persuasive, huh? He answers by chopping wood chips into splinters.
How is he?
Looked fine, last I checked.
Good.
Maybe his mind's made up, but Grayson had been sure Freddy would at least hear me out. I wait until Freddy's finished taking apart a bar top before I try again. Look, Freddy, I'm not asking for much. A minute of your time and I'll be out of your hair. I'll even tell Grayson to give you space. A tangle of emotions whirls across his face before they come out in a long sigh.
Your minute starts now. What's Grayson want?
I think about saying he can ask Grayson himself, but one look at the grim line of his face tells me he's not budging without something solid. In low tones, I show him my hand. An opportunity. Grayson's organizing something from the good old days. One night only. He wanted to know if you'd be up for a reunion. He closes his eyes, breathes slow, and, just as slowly, puts the axe to the side.
Gia, was it? I'm going to assume you're trying to help, but you're not. You're enabling him.
So what? You think he should give up? Like you?
Yes. Grayson's chasing something that isn't coming back. We took our shot and we failed. We're stuck now, so we might as well make something out of it. He'd rather get himself hurt. He'll get caught, or he'll wake up and realize it's been for nothing. I won't be a part of that.
Saw that quote on your trombone case at the Swan. Something about the best decisions are often the hardest. Grayson said it was a reminder to yourself.
About why I play?
He half smiles, and whatever memory he's in parts the clouds a little.
I pissed off a Baron.
What?
My previous island's Baron liked marching bands. He'd pay kids to take music lessons if they signed up for life. I took his lessons, I played some years, and then I ran. Once I found out I preferred club music.
Let me get this straight. You loved music enough to make an enemy of a Baron, but you're worried about Grayson?
Shoot. I need to clear my head. If you see Grayson first, tell him I'll think about it.
Bells shrilly scream under a beating of axes. Nation's Crusade must have raided a casino, because there are enough slot machines to fill a wing of pandemonium. Some still jingle with coins between hits. A spidery itch crawls down my spine. Looks like my nosy greeter is still watching. I kneel over the hill of battered metal corpses and jam my boot knife between the loose plating. A few wriggles later, it pops loose, releasing its bounty to my waiting pocket. I watch Annie's followers throw the machines overboard, and hope there's no one below. Dodging fast won't stop a few hundred pounds of metal from going through your roof.
Hello, Lamb Chop. Leaving so soon?
You sound like you run a lot of these events.
At least once a month. Honestly, I thought we'd wind down once Annie made it a regular affair, but the Lores is a very bad place. There's no shortage of wicked things to be rid of, try as we do. Mind you, I've been a card-carrying member of the Ribbon Temperance Brigade long before Annie came along. I signed up in honor of my late husband.
Was he a pious sort too?
No, he was drunk. The only sinful thing he ever removed from this world was when he drank himself into the devil's care.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. The man had a mean temper when he had a drink in him. You can say good riddance and leave it at that.
Fat wooden bodies spill their heady contents into a nearby drain. A barrel or two would be a hit at the party, if I can find more than women-sized pockets to smuggle them out. A spidery itch crawls down my spine. Looks like my nosy greeter's still watching. I borrow an axe off a noble-faced official and take my best swing. The executioner's blade splits through to the cheers of the crowd and the mourning of my inner smuggler. Whatever you think of paupers, they all share a similar story. Shadowy, glow-eyed specters at the Undercity gates. This one standing around topside like an alligator sunbathing in a fountain.
What are you staring at?
Sorry, caught me off guard. Never seen a pauper out in the open.
New to Nation's crusade, eh? So long as you don't shriek over some rats scurrying around, we won't have any problems.
Not worried about terriers? The headlights behind his goggles take on an intensely gleeful glow.
Yeah, the Baron gave him a talking to. Our contracts state they can't stop us from joining service, or the destruction of evil when we see it.
But you don't seem to be in a hurry to grab an axe or kindling.
My part comes later. I'll be here all night, sister, cleaning up after the topsiders have had their fun. Otherwise, they let moonshine flood the tunnels and block our doors with their barrels.
You folks look like you've got a decent relationship with Annie.
Yeah, well, it's all right. Best we've ever had with the Baron. Only one to include Aetherians when they preach human decency.
So you're a fan. It's almost impossible to see past the thick lens, but I almost see the crease of a brow and the upward flick of his gaze.
I don't think she's all that. But her way means I get the sky.
Hypothetically, if someone wanted to take some of those barrels off your hands, how much would it cost?
Hypothetically, make me an offer.
Cress, what do you think?
I think Vince here is giving you a hard time. He wants to see what a topsider's willing to give to a rat.
Press?
She's with me, Vince. She's all right. For someone who doesn't know when to stop poking her nose around.
Maybe she is, but I'll still need something.
Yeah? How about paying off that engine I got you? You think I've forgotten who called me up in the middle of the night to track one down? And who got it to you? No questions asked. Or how about...
Fine. Point taken. I'll leave him near your car.
A truck on the side is loaded. It hits me. I could walk out of here.
Hello, Lamb Chop. Leaving so soon?
Yeah, Time I head out.
Of course. Thank you so much for stopping by. Before you go, I have something to say. Dearie, when Annie calls to you to destroy evil, you act. No buts, no coy blushes. You do as you're told.
Sorry, Bethany. Must have misheard you over the noise. The witch hasn't finished with me yet, though. She leans close to pat my forearm, like she's measuring me for the oven.
I wanted to talk to you alone. Didn't want someone jumping to conclusions. But I saw you getting handsy with the offerings earlier.
My hairs stand up, already priming for flight. I force myself to stay calm and keep mum.
Now, simply being near sin isn't a crime, or we'd all be destined for the lake of fire. But if you did do something shameful, now's the time to confess.
Ugh, you got me. I almost pocketed something, but I couldn't go through with it. I felt like Annie was there, reminding me how the devil comes disguised as human desire.
Oh, my dear. Well, I can't say I'm not disappointed, but I'm glad you took Annie's lessons to heart before you made a mistake. You can start making up for it with redoubling your efforts to purge the sin from both the city and yourself. If you need a place to volunteer, I can find somewhere to get you settled.
The fields of white-hot judgment fade in my mirror. I breathe deep the cool air and thumb the wheel as I go over Grayson's list. I got music and booze covered. All that's left is the cosmetic pickup. I round the bend and feel the world tilt. If I hadn't already seen his writing, I would have known Needles from the shape of his silhouette and the scent of his favorite cigarettes.
Who the hell? Diamo.
Nice to see you too, Needles. I'm here for the pickup.
Funny. Last I talked to my client, he was supposed to come himself.
Change of plans. Grayson sent me. He also says your invite's still good. Now, are we going to spend all day playing Whispers? Or are you going to give me the package?
Okay. Had to ask. Didn't want to find another no-show client tied up in a trunk. Packages are in the trunk. Bigger ones behind right and left panels, small ones sewn into the lining of the pink and green coats.
We're halfway to his car when engines announce themselves with a distant roar. Our heads whip down the winding road. Red and white cars bearing painted axes rapidly speed toward us. How much heat did you pull?
Not enough to send pitchforks after. Must be a patrol.
Then maybe we can talk our way out.
I have something. I've got a tailor's license signed to Petya Ivanov. You could play fashion designer. You look sharp enough to pass. Say the car broke down on a delivery.
It's an act we've put on a dozen times before, but the memories blur into the last job we worked. I'm standing in the dark of Santa Anita Lodge, Needles 38 pressed into my gut. Forget the chit-chat. If we go now, we can get the drop on them.
Damn it. Always gotta do things the hard way.
Stop right there! You cannot escape the eyes of Annie the Axe!
You see her around to stop me?
Just like our job in Little Damascus.
That's the last of them. Not bad work.
Thanks. Helps when I'm not the only one doing the shooting. Let's hurry up. I don't want to risk any more surprises.
I'll get the panels. You get the coats.
We move the cargo to my car, steps haunted by silence. Where the space between us had been empty before, there's an uneven jumble. Familiarity piled on by hurt and uncertainty.
That invite. It's not just a code word, it's for Grayson's shindig. You gonna be there?
Yeah, helping to organize it.
Come talk to me later. I got something for you.
Look, Needles,
Please?
I don't have an answer. Not when we load the last bag, not when I blink, and he's gone. All I know is I've got a job, and I'm due back at the Swan.
Gee, how'd it go?
Got everything on the list.
Everything? Even Freddy?
He said he'd think about it. Can't promise anything more than that.
That's good. Better than good. It's more than I could have hoped for. Thank you, Gia. Tonight's going to be special. I can feel it.
Need a hand with anything else?
I think I got this covered. Why don't you take a spell? Freshen up a bit before the party, if you like.
I just might do that. Time passes. I'm back at the dance hall, hand on a thrumming wooden door, a chorus of joy and life on the other side. A tender ray of light peeks through the crack. I take the invite and step inside. Bright bulbs, dusted curtains, stitched up holes. Hard to believe it was a site only fit for the spiders and moths until a short while ago. The stage bears barely a scratch or scruff from its burial. Either it was in better shape than I thought, or Grayson's a miracle worker. I can barely see Benny's hat around the sea of suits and skirts. He's a little bolt of energy, bouncing in and out around the crowd to reach me.
Holy cannoli, Gia! The line's already running out the door. How are we gonna pack them all in?
We'll manage. If they're sticking around long enough to wait, I doubt they're in a hurry to run off. Through the waves of crowds and dance floor, my eyes drawn to an approaching pair, a musician in a tan suit, arms slung around his other half. Freddy! Finished thinking, huh?
You made an effort to talk me over. I decided to give you a shot. Blame Grayson for the rest.
Hey, now, I didn't need to do much talking at all. All I did was return Mr. Toots to his rightful owner. What you did with it after was your biz.
Mr. Toots?
My trombone. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go finish warm-up.
His eyes roll, but Freddy's half grin is a break of light through the gloom. He pats Grayson on the shoulder and takes to the stage with his other partner, Mr. Toots.
Anyway, before things get busy, I wanted to tell you something. Thanks, you two. I never gave up on seeing the Swan in business again, but this... it's like stepping back in time.
Wouldn't have happened if you hadn't thrown it all together. Grayson gives us a 15-watt smile. He takes to an expectant stage and a deserved applause. Him and Freddy lift their horns. The hall holds its breath in anticipation. The music starts, and the Swan completes its transformation. The once stale air warms under bright music and swaying bodies. Though I'm supposed to be working, I imagine myself on the floor too. Not every day you get to enjoy the same party you're working.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're still on the clock. Underground's expecting party coverage. Testimonials, quotes, pictures, the whole kit and caboodle. All anonymous, of course.
I'm going to keep an eye on the floor. Catch up with you later, junior reporter. I look across the room, and the world slows. Whether scarred or in new clothes, Piotr has a pair of eyes I'd know in any crowd. They trail my every gesture, from my dress to my face, until we're steps apart.
You look good. Anais?
Didn't think to ask. Got it for a job. Yacht party with Dreamland's upper crust.
Whoever picked it's got taste. Newest season, classy colors, pretty enough to look at. Not enough to stick out. In Dreamland, anyway.
You planning on spending the night gushing about my dress? A spot opens up along the bar under a shuffle of giggling feet. Part of me doesn't realize we're stepping through familiar motions until we've cleared the counter and perched our elbows. But when we run out of steps, the silence sets in. I feel like we're wading through a room covered with molasses. No helping for it. I'm going to have to get us unstuck. Heard Eli sent out a full draft order. Glad to see you got out.
It was close. Came back from a job, saw the notice. Barely had any time to grab my kit before they started kicking doors down.
And the shop?
Haven't been back. My guess, it's ashes.
Knowing White Street, it might as well be. Whitecaps don't tolerate deserters. If a tailor ran without any friends or family to punish, that didn't leave many targets.
Heard something about the general, though. They say 8-Shot ushered him onto the final ferry. That true?
It's not like that. Does it look like I go out of my way to kill a Baron?
Surprisingly, no. Too risky, even for you. Doesn't stop people from guessing. Last I checked, top bets were professional hit, revenge mission, or vigilante action.
Figured if you had a barony you liked less than White Street, Nation's Crusade would be somewhere in your top 5.
Upper end of the list. But White Street's on fire, and Nation's Crusade's got plenty of smuggling jobs.
Not surprising. Zio used to say in our line of work, no one benefits more from a baron tightening their fist than us.
He wasn't wrong. It ain't all makeup runs. Records, films, smut, food, clothes, comics, religion, everything's a target. Pissing off every third Dame and Joe in the barony.
I stare at my reflection in the counter. A while ago, I'd be imagining a steady stream of work and a growing pile of cash. I don't see them now. Have you heard about Mr. Blanc?
Not since my last Uppers gig. Why? What happened?
He's dead.
What? No, don't kid.
I'm not screwing with you, Needles. I was there. The air cools into a respectful silence. Needles waves down the bartender. We order 2 shots. Neither are to Mr. Blanc's tastes, but we drink in memoriam anyway.
To Mr. Blanc. He ran a nice bar.
To Mr. Blanc. He gave me a second chance. All right, Needles. What's this about? Needles usually isn't one to pull his punches. Whatever this is, his fingers fidget for half a second before placing a set of keys on the counter between us.
Here. 35 Chimera. Won't have all Cress's work, but it'll get you around.
You fixed Chimera?
Not personally. Found it while I was still in White Street. It was like seeing a ghost. But I did a big job, someone owed me a favor, I owed you, so I cashed in.
Needles, when I said you owed me double, it was for the gala. Bringing my car back's a hell of a lot more than pay up and get out of my sight.
Yeah, but I owe you for more than the gala. Owed you for the Valentine job. And for being a bastard who couldn't even say sorry.
Still not hearing an apology.
Damn it, Gia. I'm sorry. You wanted to know why I wasn't at the funeral. I meant to. Had my suit, a pack of cards, and a bottle of whiskey for Alfonso. Made it halfway there before I pulled over. Kept thinking Alfonso would still be here if you let me drop. Didn't think you wanted me there anyway. Not after the fight.
Look, Piotr, if I didn't want you there, I would have made sure the invite never got anywhere near you.
Too late now.
The reminder's a familiar ache between my shoulders. I look for a distraction among the bottles. Instead, I see a couple behind us overlaying our reflections. Maybe Piotr sees it too.
Let's play hypotheticals. Say it's the day of the funeral. This time I show up. What happens?
Same thing we do every time we finish a big job. Glasses of whiskey, cards, and stories.
Alfonso would have liked it. As long as the stories were about him. Always liked someone else reminding him how clever he was. He ever tell you about the cabbie wars?
About as often as the Russian bear. Even if we got through the funeral, I doubt we would have been okay. My rep was in the mud, and from what I heard, yours was only slightly better. We'd still be scrabbling for jobs.
Funny. I cleaned up pretty nicely on White Street.
I also remember you getting chased out by whitecaps.
It was nice while it lasted. But maybe I could have skipped that part. Wouldn't have set up shop there if we'd pooled resources. And you know who the reliable one was. Some clients like that. So, where do you think we would have ended up?
I'd like to imagine we could put together enough dough for a patch of sunlight. Somewhere I'm not squinting through islands to check the time of day.
Still trying to move upstairs.
The uppers isn't going away, even with the heights around. It's taking me time, but my cash and name are in a better spot than they were a year ago.
All this assumes we keep in touch. Think we would have given it another shot? Being together.
Maybe not immediately, but I'd like to imagine we had a chance. Still missed your crooked face, you know, when I saw it in Raymond.
Funny. I missed your perfume.
My perfume?
Yeah, the wildflower one. Noticed it under the bleach. Reminded me of a lot. That and working with someone who enjoys playing dress-up just as much.
For a moment, the edges of the world soften with dreams of another past. I linger in the could-have-beens until the couple disappears, stranding us back in reality. It's a nice story. Too bad that's all it is.
Yeah. Doesn't change a thing. Wasn't there for the funeral. Stabbed you in the back. Got whitecaps chasing after us.
Honestly, Piotr, it still hurts. I won't forget you got Chimera back. That doesn't mean I'm entirely over what happened, with White Street or Valentine.
Didn't expect you to. Still feeling it myself. But we never would have been in the same room a year ago, let alone be talking.
I doubt this is the last we see of each other. We're both smugglers. Our work's going to overlap once in a while. And if I'm going to run into anyone else, I'd rather it be you.
You're not so bad yourself. I already lost one Randazzo. Hate to lose another.
It's another reminder of the hole Zio left between us. This time, I almost don't feel it.
Anyway, you got a job. I need a smoke break. I'll see you around, Milaya.
Polished to a shine, the bar's a watering hole for the thirsty and giggly. How long's it been since they've had a glass of something more than water and church wine? There's a trio camped comfortably together. Their limbs are a comfortable sprawl, as though the dance hall were their living room.
There I was, up 28 hours, my partner dead asleep, arms giving out. I saw the ice buckets and I knew what I had to do.
Just because I didn't see it doesn't mean you weren't wrong to do it.
Lighten up. Scolding her isn't gonna bring the prize money back. Which you should know after helping us spend it all on drinks and movie tickets.
Their friend grumbles defenses into his drink, while the pair share a laugh. The handsome-looking partygoers trails off when she sees me.
Evening, miss. Hope you don't mind some fossils taking up space.
Why not? Sounds like you were here first.
Damn right, sweet thing. We and the swan have a history. We were reminiscing a bit.
All right, I'm curious. What did you do with the ice buckets?
Don't. We'll be here all night listening to her again.
Then plug your ears, sweetie. Once upon a time, the Swan used to hold dance marathons every last Tuesday of the month. 50 cents for admission, free food and shelter. Winner takes all.
It was your idea, Clyde, wasn't it?
I got the idea from San Francisco. Something to fill the hall during slow days. Fortunately, I didn't realize one of my best friends was a conniving cheat.
Oh, come off it. Sadism was sexy entertainment back then. I wasn't the only one slipping smelling salts in my sleeves or dipping fellas into an ice bath. Speaking of which, so, the ice buckets. Adrian Felton keeps kicking our shins, so I dropped a bottle of red ink into their tub. How was I supposed to know he'd make a mess?
All right, I'm curious. What did you do with the ice buckets?
Don't. We'll be here.
Then plug your ears. Once upon a time.
It was your idea,
I got the idea from...
Oh, come on. So, the ice bucket.
What's your history with the place?
We used to be regulars. I tell you how many years we've been coming, but it'll upset Minnie.
I beg your pardon, Chris. The only thing she needs to know is that I'm the 5-time winner of the Swans Dance Marathon competition and marathon record holder this side of the lowers. Although if you want to see moves, you should watch Clyde. He used to teach here.
Not all of us are looking to show off.
Why not? Maybe I'll learn something by watching. The former instructor squints at me, then his drink. Nothing feels former about him as his hand swaps the glass from Minnie's hand in one fluid gesture. Their steps are a well-oiled music box, and each step clicks the ground like teeth against a cylinder. 1, 2, spin, dip. Clyde elegantly swings Minnie downward and upwards.
And from another angle.
Without a break in movement, they swap parts. Minnie to the side, Chris the lead, Clyde the follow. 1, 2, spin, dip. A perfect repeat of the first, etching the motions into my memory. There's a line from the beauty station to mirrors of all genders and ages. Men with hair gel and women with makeup take a gander at their reflections and leave with a bounce in their step. Among a sea of undulating bodies, one's flopping about like it's her first time in the deep end. A teenage girl alternates between peeping at dance sheets and practicing steps solo. Mind if I cut in?
Oh, sure.
One hand in hers, one arm around her back, I guide her through the steps. She's a choppy partner, jerking on slow steps and dragging on quick steps, but she evens out with each repetition.
I'm doing it. I'm really doing it.
Sure are, kid. First time?
Pretty much. The last time I danced was at my cousin's wedding, but that doesn't count.
And Nation's Crusade doesn't allow dancing for even weddings anymore, I take it.
No. Grandma says it leads to sinful thoughts and sinful actions. Is it weird I don't care?
The song ends and we part. The flushing girl bobs her head.
Thank you. I'm going to go practice some more.
The floor here is strewn with all the sheet music the band tossed onto the floor over the course of the concert. I'm not sure if it'd be worth anything, but it's a piece of Nation's Crusade history now. I rifle through the fallen pages, looking for something that might make for an interesting keepsake. At the bottom of the pile, I spot the final movement, signed by the band. I tuck it into my coat pocket. I'm sure a music lover would enjoy this piece of history, even if it takes a little insider knowledge to fully grasp the significance. I catch Grayson and Freddy between sets.
Gia, hey, enjoying the party?
Freddy's humming, lighter with a trombone than an axe, but the clouds linger. When he's still too long or too short, he goes quiet. Freddy, how are you holding up?
Happiest I've been in years.
If that's your happy, I'd hate to see what your glum looks like. His mouth twitches downward like he's lowering the curtain on his mood.
Try not to forget things roll back tomorrow. Maybe this time for good.
You want it to be for one night only?
No.
Then what's stopping you from doing more gigs with Grayson? It wouldn't be public, or even as nice as here, but it'd be somewhere.
I could. We'd make a good run of it. It still doesn't change the band or what happens if we get caught. You think the hurt's worth it?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. But I know what it's like to be stuck living in something you hate.
Maybe. I'll think about it when I'm not working. Thanks for noticing, Gia.
Sounding swell, Grayson.
Oh, thank you. It's all the atmosphere. Nothing fills my cup faster than a full house and a great band made to live up to.
You really enjoy playing that much?
Well, sure. Don't you get any warm feelings when your work makes people smile?
I'm a smuggler. My work's supposed to happen on the down low. Most clients are happier pretending they never met me. And if I'm lucky, the job ends with a clean handoff and a thank you.
So why go to all the effort to help me then? What are you getting out of this?
I'm working a job. I told a client I'd help her fix something, and the only way we do it is if I make sure this party happens.
Oh, you're a good friend.
Friend? No. A client's a client. I made a contract, so I'm on the hook to follow through.
Don't worry, I get it. Sometimes a gig is just a gig. But for what it's worth, you've made me and everyone here real happy, Gia.
Hey, Gia. What's the word? Any trouble?
No one's kissing the floor or painting a cow between rounds of Russian roulette yet.
Yeah? Any chance of that happening?
Wouldn't get your hopes up. It's Nation's Crusade. Even a line dance counts as a wild night out.
You said it. I've been getting testimonials all night, and these people are starved for something more than sermons and speeches. Everything they do's gotta go back to goodness and duty. It's no way to live. And get this, Annie even bans the funnies. You think I can talk the underground into letting us include some in my article?
Try asking after you have it written. Benny frowns, chomping on the eraser end of his pencil like it's a fat cigar.
That's been tricky. I'm experiencing some bona fide writer's block. Been stumped deciding on the headline interview.
What? Nothing exciting enough?
Nah, that ain't it. But we need something with pizzazz. Most barely read past the headline. We want to sway hearts. We need to hook them from the start.
Annie's band put Freddie out of work. Doesn't seem like he's as at peace with it as he says he is.
Huh. Yeah, that could work. Nation's Crusade stopped the music. Former musician speaks out. Let's see what he's got to say.
We weave through lines of bodies bobbing up and down, and wave Freddie over between sets. Sweat pours down his brow, and not entirely from effort.
Something wrong?
Grayson tell you about Benny over here?
He said something about a reporter. He didn't say he was a kid.
Aw, don't let age fool you. Name's Benny Castellano, star reporter of the Daily Crier. I'd like to interview you for the front page. Personal details redacted. How's it feel to be back on stage?
While others might have blushed or preened over the opportunity to make the papers, Freddie's face clouds over. He looks as sure as a dented weather vane. Benny's a seasoned reporter. If he says he'll keep you anonymous, he's a man of his word. Freddie rolls his eyes, but there's no annoyance or rancor behind them.
It's bittersweet. I feel like I'm still waiting to wake up.
Must be disorienting, huh? The Swan's the most happening joint on the island. Then bam! Closed. Not because of profit or the owner packing it in, but the Baron said so.
Disorienting's a word. So is painful.
What happened back then?
Not much, except it was sudden. I came to work and found Crusaders. They said heretical music was banned, but Nanny would show us the way.
I remember Freddie chopping up kindling and feeling a thump to my gut. Benny furiously scribbles in his notepad.
If you have anything you'd say to Annie, what would it be?
Annie, I respect you, but you're wrong. You took something I loved and called it sin. Me, Grayson, every musician who stepped on stage, we aren't evil people.
Shrieks of delight cut into our conversation. It starts as a startled gasp and builds into a room full of awe. What the hell is that? Clad in a sharp suit, Apollo could have walked off a poster. While tongues tie themselves into pretzels and autograph requests come out in stutters, he takes them with a gallant wink and a smile. As the crowd flows towards the matinee star, I swim upstream to Grayson. The musician's flustered, professionalism straining against the same enchantment that has his audience.
Is that Apollo Diamond? What's he doing in Nation's Crusade? In one of my parties? Am I dreaming?
Couldn't help himself, I guess. Once the pleasantries ebb away, Apollo sweeps to the stage. The crowd parts, forming a narrow path between him and Grayson and me.
Oh, hello, old sport. Lovely barnstopper you've got going on. My people heard rumors about a floating dance hall in Nation's Crusade. Had to come see it for myself.
Thank you. I mean, you're welcome. It might not be as fancy as what you're used to, but we are a friendly crowd, aren't we?
The hall swells under a tidal wave of agreeable cheers, swept away under the fantasy of a movie star in their little corner of the world. I feel a little floaty myself when Apollo turns to me.
Gia, darling. Fancy seeing you here. We really need to stop meeting like this.
You tell me. Why is it you just happen to crash a party whenever I'm on the invite list?
Luck, I suppose.
He reclines back onto the edge of the stage like it's one of his sets, effortlessly drawing the room into his orbit.
I heard all the dance halls closed years ago. Good to see the folks of Nation's Crusade still know how to have a good time, eh?
Another wave of cheers fills the hall, but Apollo's churning something. Beneath the smiles and whispers, ripples of discomfort, sadness, and resentment pass through the crowd.
You know, I never quite understood Nation's Crusade's thinking. Sure, morality and goodness and all that, but why's it gotta be so drab?
I don't think it should be. A good number of us don't, in fact. We wouldn't be here otherwise.
Oh, that's the spirit. I've been to my share of parties. Never have I seen someone struck down over one. Well, except when someone tries skipping the bill.
The crowd chortles along, but it's more than politeness. They're hanging on his every word, drinking up visions of a world lost to them.
Joy makes us human, after all. What's more human than enjoying life, eh? We only get one, so let's spend it dancing. Hit the floor, tap your toes, turn to your neighbor and ask, Gia, would you dance with me?
For a moment, I'm standing in a fantasy. Soft motes of light around an outstretched hand from one of the city's most desired bachelors. But then, I picture myself standing across from a familiar pair of pretty blue eyes. Thanks for the offer, but I've got someone else in mind.
Well, no loss then. Knock them dead, darling.
I feel a flutter in my belly, like it's the days Needles and I were dancing around budding feelings instead of bad memories. Just like back then, all I had to do was walk up and ask. Up for a dance, Piotr?
Always, Milaya.
He takes my hand, and the emptiness shrinks to the spaces between our fingers. I doubt it'll ever fully close, but we leap back and forth across it with every step. Hours pass. While the early risers and the lightweights slip off into the night, Needles and I take advantage of the extra space to take turns swinging each other around the dance floor. What the hell was that? If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to spin me through a wall.
Hey, I spin fine. You try after 2 drinks.
Without missing a beat, we switch positions, and I mirror what Clyde showed me. 1, 2, spin, dip. I swing Needles low, fighting a smug grin as he flushes brighter than a bolt of crimson fabric. Hours pass. Stars wink away to morning's light, and the remaining night owls make for their beds. Needles and I take the last dance slow, nothing but the sway of our bodies to keep us upright.
Gee, still with me?
Still dancing, aren't I?
Just checking. In case you need someone to walk you to your car.
Is that an offer? The music ends. We stumble off, leaning against each other to get to our cars. My memory rings in a pleasant haze, but I remember the words we drove off on. Goodbye for now. I run into a standoff between a protest group and bucketheads. The former pilgrims have blocked off the street while a painter airbrushes a secular mural on the side of a nearby building. While I can't say it's a victimless crime, it's hardly the sort of thing that would concern a baron of the lowers, if that baron were anybody but Annie. Civil unrest means our strategy's working, but I'm trying to continue working behind the curtain. It wouldn't be a good time to get pinched by the authorities. I'll have to handle this delicately. I pull up to the rear of the buckethead cordon and roll down my window. The one in charge sidles up to my car and leans down to talk.
Move along, Pilgrim. We've got our hands full here, and we'd hate for a bystander to get hurt if things escalate.
Listen to me. You're both being played. Someone's instigating this protest as a distraction while they move in a barge full of contraband. The buckethead furrows his brow, looking skeptical.
How can you be sure?
Because it's what I do. Look, I'm just a pilgrim now, but before I came to Nation's Crusade, I was a smuggler. If I were you, I'd fan out and check all the alleys and side streets. The buckethead nods, motioning to his compatriots. They pile back into their chase cars and fan out, leaving the road ahead free for me to continue my journey.
Look what the cat dragged in.
Found this one hiding away from the bucketheads. Looked like it was in need of a rescue.
Don't worry. I'll give it a good home.
Saved it from one of Annie's temperance bonfires. What do you think?
Let me clean it up first. I can still smell the smoke on it. Be careful out there.